Oh, I might turn Nightbot off because this is just going to get spammy now, isn't it? It's going to get spammy. More spam than Morrison's. Welcome, one and all, to Refuge. We are going to be going over some tips and jumps for this map. It's a remake of the Halo 2 map Sanctuary, not that you need to know that, and of the Halo Reach map Asylum, which is my first experience of this layout. Some people love this map, some people hate it. It's got two game types, Slayer and CTF, and hopefully just a bit of, well, just a few movement tips to help you guys on your way around Refuge. The first tip is not so useful from red, but it's quite nice from blue. So you can hide behind the giant alien thing leg, and if someone's coming up ramp here to get the flag, you might surprise them. Bang! Good night. As you can see, unless you're colorblind, we are at blue, and the same experience. Ooh, different results. Look at that. Ooh. 9 visible. It's like wearing camo. We're starting out at the base here. We might as well start with the base here. So CTF, your flag obviously spawns there. And if you're going to attack the enemy flag, they don't expect you to run up this rock ramp. Well, you can also just sprint, crouch onto this rock, and then sprint, crouch. You can get away without the clamber as well. Let me show you. Oop, I forgot to crouch. You must remember to crouch onto the rock. Jump, crouch, otherwise you will not make it up. See that? Seamlessly up. Avoiding nades, potentially, and also surprising a few people. You can also surprise unsuspecting foes, not phones, by just thrust jumping straight up there. You just run at that kind of a gap between the two rocks there, and you thrust at the wall while sprinting. Clamber, oh, when you're up. And you've caught them with their trousers down. Alright, the second set of rocks. This is the BR pillar there. Bear in mind this is red base. These rock thrust jumps are a bit different than blue. The rocks look different. So you can run, you can thrust between these two rocks here. I was too far to the left there. You don't want to do that. And then you can clamber up. Lovely. And you can also approach from the front of the base. And you want to aim at that rock there, and it will throw you up there. Try that again. I thrusted just before you were supposed to. There we go. So time that thrust perfectly, and it'll throw you right up to the base there, just to clamber. And again, you're surprising people. Woohoo! So this rock here, red base again, kind of the rock by Storm Rifle. Jump on it, and you can jump crouch onto the ramp there. Lovely. You can jump crouch, clamber up to here, where you spawn basically. It's a lot harder to jump crouch up to there, but you can obviously jump crouch, thrust, clamber up onto the turret bridge, which is ace. You can again thrust off the rocks from this angle, the right hand side of the base, from the spawn point, the left hand side of the base. That rock there, you want to run from this angle, from the front, thrust, and you can clamber right on up. There's also a super jump you can do off of this delightful rock here, straight from the Storm Rifle kind of turret spawn. Slightly unorthodox there, but I'm doing a tutorial, that's probably why. Basically, it just takes you quickly from spawn up to street or ring 2. Same type of jumps, but from blue. And you want to thrust at that central one there. If approaching the base from this angle, you can just go up the ramp, right? And jump crouch in, pretty nifty. But yeah, if you want to thrust in, you've got to be really precise actually with the center of those three from this angle. Yeah, just like that. And from the hut angle, the thrust jump is round about there. Oh, thrusted too late. Don't do that. You want to thrust like a millisecond or so before you hit the surface. Just like that. We've moseyed on over to the blue rock side now, and you want to aim at the gap between those two rocks right there. Just like that. Equally though, you can just run up the ramp. Not thrust jump, just jump crouch in, no clamber required. The rocks furthest to the left, the blue rock side, that gap right there. Very fast. Thrust, clamber. Same thing's true here, obviously. You just sprint and jump crouch, and then re-sprint and jump crouch, and you can get up to there without using your clamber. Just like so. At blue ramp here, there's this cheeky little spear on this rock that you can sit on. Ooh, that hurts. And let's say you're aggressing someone from here. You can quite easily just sprint away like this, run around the rock, and then thrust there. And you're up. And yeah, that's a very fast way to re-aggress and re-challenge from a different angle and maybe catch them off guard. Win. By the way, you can jump crouch onto most of the rocks in this area. Pretty much all of them. The only one you're going to struggle with is the giant one here, which is easier from the bottom side. You just can jump crouch up to there, but you have to jump crouch up again to get onto the top of it. Well, hey. You can also kneecap off most of the rocks on this map. You just want to sprint at them, jump, and then just before your shins are about to hit the rock, you want to thrust and then hit jump again, and it should throw you up. You can do it on most of the rocks on this map, like I said, so jump into customs, have a play around. Like so. Not the best, most useful one there. But yeah, I suppose if you want to get up into the base pretty quick, could come in handy. There are multiple thrusts you can do off these rocks here by Red Hut. Just thrust, run into it, and you're up very fast sniper. So for example, if you're running away from someone out of tunnel here, you can run around the corner here, boom, thrust, and you're up very fast. Lovely. Same's true at blue over here. If you're getting chased from tunnel, you can run around here and just do a quick thrust. And yeah, you're up at hut. Alright, thrust jump again from courtyard here up to sniper there. You just run and sprint and thrust at this pillar here. And it just throws you up. You can clamber, but you can also do it to the point where you don't have to clamber, and it's pretty snazzy. Like that. Let's say some dastardly foe is chasing you from that direction through the tunnel. You can come out at a very sharp angle, turn, aim here, and thrust, and it'll throw you up there. Like so. Marvellous. When you're coming out of the tunnel, like this, you don't have to clamber onto the rock. You can jump crouch and then jump crouch back, all the while looking in the same direction, so you can fend off any aggression that comes from the carbine there. Outside blue hut now, you can do the same types of jumps as I just showed you, but just you need to aim for slightly different areas. So from the blue hut, from the courtyard to snipe up there, you need to aim for like the right hand side of this pillar. And you just have to clamber. You don't get quite as good a launch blue side. You can launch off the sand at blue side and crouch and clamber during the thrust, and you'll end up here at sniper as well. Let's say you're being chased again down tunnel. Blue side, you want to run out and you want to thrust there, and you'll end up there. Just like that. Red hut. If someone's going to challenge you, you want to be really quirky. You can actually do a thrust jump off of this sand here as well. You might be able to get a ground pound off too. I haven't tried this yet, but as I've been exploring, I found it. Sprint, thrust. Yeah, and it like throws you up into the air. Here you go again. So yeah, maybe just a jaunty challenge height they're not expecting. Height's always good, yeah? And the same is true in blue. Ta-da! This here barrier here is crouch jump height. You just jump crouch and you can jump straight over it, no clamber. So yeah, good little tool to be duking people out with. Again, crouch jump, crouch jump. Don't really need to clamber around this area very much at all. If you're in the hut, but you're desperate to get to ring 2, you don't want to run along the street, someone's carbine, and there's not enough cover, you can always back up into hut, and you can sprint and jump crouch onto there, and get to ring 2 this way. Jump around the side, thrust if you need, you're up, lovely job. If you're facing some deadly foe with a shotgun, they just come up into hut here, you can always turn, run, stabilise, and thrust back onto the bridge, and then you've got a bit more favourable distance with which to engage them from which to engage them in with. Obviously you can super slide up to the jump here, to ring 3, and just land on the ledge. Oh, don't drop down. So that's just a jump clamber, and let's say there are people at rocks or base, you've popped out of ring here, and you want to get to ring 3, you can just clamber from the side. You can't clamber the front, but you can clamber the side. So perfect for if you're aggressing the enemy base. You can jump clamber and then jump back, and you're up ring 3 without even having taken your mind off of the enemy's position at all. Let's say you're along street here, they're Carbine. You can just jump crouch up onto the barrier there, and then if you kind of get to know this part of the map well, you can keep shooting, move back along there, and then jump up and round just like that. And you're up at ring 3, and you haven't once taken your eye off of the enemy's position that time either. So yeah, very cool. You can also super slide up to ring 3 from the Carbines. So yeah, just a thrust, slide, jump, stabilize, and clamber. When you're up at ring 3, really you want to be crouching before you jump so that your peak height is lower and you're less visible. And this is a great time to be executing the drop back clamber mechanic, which is just where you crouch and move slowly backwards off the surface, or move backwards off the surface and then re-clamber it on the way back up like that. Yeah, really useful because people think you've dropped down and you have not. When you're looking at red hut here, this main pillar here, just by red, you can jump crouch up onto it and then jump again. It is sadly the only kind of pillar that you can do that on, but these pillars are great because they cut so many angles off. They cut the whole of turret and hut and everything off, so unless they throw a sticky nade perfectly there or there, you're pretty much safe. So yeah, do be using these lovely square blocks. We're down in ring 1 now. Very simply, you can just stabilize, jump off ring 1 up to ring 2, just like so. It's easier than you think. And from this angle, let's say you've been caught in the cubby, you want to get out, you can just jump, crouch, clamber. You don't need to stabilize, nothing fancy. You don't need to spring jump up onto the ramp there. And yeah, you're golden. In terms of the jump ups that are at both sides, you can, again, just jump crouch onto them and jump crouch into ring 2. No clamber needed. Don't use clamber. Bad clamber. You can also use the jump ups here to just jump, crouch, stabilize up to the Carbines. Might catch someone off guard. You can use these rocks to jump up onto the Carbines as well, just saving a little bit of time. If you're being chased from courtyard, red courtyard in this case, and you want to run away, you can come through the blue archway here, and you can thrust off of that part of that rock there, and it'll get you up to Carbine really quickly, meaning a successful escape. Same again, but you're being chased in blue courtyard, run under this red Carbine pillar here, and then you can thrust off that portion of that giant square rock. And again, you just thrust clamber up to Carbine. Closing statement, and this is to you people who play capture the flag on Refuge, and you stand on the flag as though you are going to re-it by you standing on it. It doesn't work like that. It's a time return game type, which means a certain amount of time has to pass before the flag can be returned. By all means, stand nearby, get shotgun shots off, get grenades off, but please stop standing on it, which is going to be exactly where the opposition team are looking at. They're going to be looking at the flag. If you've stood on it, you're going to die. So please stop doing it. Finally, if you are on the Slayer game type, please grab the Carbine. It is awesome. It's such a good gun. Much better at cross mapping on this map Refuge here than the BR or the pistol. So yeah, there you go. That is Refuge. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Please give it a like if you learned something new. And yeah, please think about subscribing as well. And if you would like to, follow me over on Twitch as well. That's all in the description below. Want to shout out a couple of channels. One, again, being Luculent. He's got a really advanced kind of movement video on this map. If you would like to know all the ins and outs and all the advanced movement on Refuge, go and check that out. There's also another guy with a bit of a shorter video, but again, advanced movement on Refuge called, I think it's Meozer or Meozer, and I'll link that in the description below as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. You're great and have a super day. Bye.